Payday 3 has been out for almost a month now, and when it's functioned as intended, the community has been deep diving since day one for all sorts of Easter eggs, secrets, and gameplay techs, with dozens of interesting and worthwhile discoveries already made, and hundreds more likely still lurking just below the surface. This is my first 10 things you didn't know about Payday 3 video, and if Payday 2 is anything to go by, it certainly won't be the last, although the less said about the current state of affairs, the better. This episode is full of some incredible tips for the current version of the game, so keep in mind, this is a piece of history at a moment in time on patch 1.0 where nothing has been altered or patched out. If you're watching this in 2030, I doubt everything I'm about to show you will work exactly as it does right now, so unless we've got time machines by then, enjoy this slice of Payday 3's release month. As ever, if you knew everything revealed in this video already, congratulations, you've no-lifed the game even more than I have. Drop a dislike in disdain, guilt-free. And if you learned something new from this one, the cloaker tells me that you're legally obligated to leave a like. Take it up with him. First up on the inaugural Payday 3 secrets list is one that may or may not have been intentional, but let me tell you, it's a huge advantage if you've been taking stealth in this game seriously, especially on the overkill difficulty. You see, the Coverup skill in the CQC specialist line allows your takedowns to instantly answer a guard's radio without any further interactions, a nice time saver that can also help you move bodies quickly out of line of sight. But did you know that if you complete a takedown on the lead guard with Coverup active, you will immediately answer their radio and prevent it from ever activating again, entirely nullifying what makes the lead guard modifier on overkill so oppressive. Even if you're spotted masked up by one, you can always use infrasonic mines to stun and take them down, meaning there's a use for two underused stealth options right here. Don't ever tell me takedowns are useless again. In a similar vein, but this time with less neck snapping, the body shield mechanic is insanely powerful in Payday 3. It allows you to essentially move the cop AI to your whims, forcing them to charge you down or flank around to land a shot, as well as switching over to smaller arms or non-lethal approaches. But did you know, it's entirely possible to gain an unbreakable body shield, essentially turning you into your crew's designated riot shield. With the simple skill combo of Enforcer Ace to generate grit and edge, alongside Solid to make you immune to stagger, you can hold onto your hostage regardless of the onslaught of melee attacks coming your way. Hell, you can even repel bulldozer charges, showing them who the real wall is. This legitimately powerful playstyle can be enhanced and maintained by the combat reload skill, enabling you to have virtually an endless, indestructible body shield to head into battle alongside. Alright, those first two secrets fall into the interesting and useful gameplay text category. I think that's my quota of helpful tips out the way. Let's talk about this security guard on 99 boxes grooving on town. Honestly, I have no idea why this happens, but these atrocious moves prove that he really has no idea anyone is watching. This one gave me a laugh the first time I spotted it, and is reminiscent of the many dancing Civ Easter eggs from Payday 2, except this guy is actually security, so you can feel guilt-free about putting him out of his misery. And sticking with that musical theme, have you ever wandered past the moving traffic on No Rest for the Wicked or Dirty Ice and taken the time to listen to what they're jamming out to? There's some rock tunes, some dance music, oh, and one driver in particular with truly excellent taste. Yes, that is Razormind playing over the radio, probably the most iconic piece of Payday music ever produced, courtesy of Simon Viklund. It's amazing to hear in game, and I hope this is just the beginning of the returning songs from Payday 2, as Blaine Keegan's introduction with the Texas Heat riff is almost just as goosebump-inducing. And the homages to Payday games of old don't stop there. These stickers, easily found around the exterior of Rock the Cradle, showcase none other than Teddy Moo, the Payday the Heist mascot, from No Mercy having a ball on a DDR mat, as well as these jewel spoons of a rather irregular size, surely making reference to the comically large spoon and its fiery gold sibling. Finally, on the Touch the Sky heist, we find bottles of whiskey from a recognisable Scottish brand. It's the Rivertown Glen, which Bonnie enjoyed so much in Payday 2, she even started carrying around bottles as weapons. Always good to get reminders of our past crewmates, even if their futures remain uncertain. It's surprising just how many references they were able to fit into launch. Hell, they even preemptively referenced the Day 1 server outages in this piece of graffiti. Now, that was a seriously heads-up move. Back on that tips and tricks grind, I want to share how I've been lightening the load when playing solo, especially in stealth, where the bag-moving portions of the heist feel incredibly unforgiving as we wait for the transporter tree to finally be added. Right now, one of the safest and lowest risk methods for moving bags silently throughout the map is via your AI crewmates. They might not be good for much, but they do make decent pack mules. Unlike in Payday 2, where the crew will take up and maintain positions by the heist entrance, in Payday 3 they will follow you as far as they can into public areas. This allows you to load them up with bags at the entrance of the area you're looting and run them slowly across to the escape van without needing to take as many dangerous back and forth trips through guard-infested territory. It's also worth keeping in mind that loot bags on yours or their backs will count as secured at the end of a heist, saving some time filling up the van at the end of the mission and speeding up your escape. The prior secret was almost certainly intended, but what I'm about to share next is unlikely to have been properly thought through, but boy is it funny as hell. Essentially, if you have both the menacing and Stockholm Syndrome skills in the manipulator line, you have access to an endlessly useful personal revive bot in the form of the very cops you might have just been down by. Thanks to Papilloma Mami for sharing this incredible application of these skills on Twitter. Essentially, even when downed, you can intimidate a cop into laying down their arms and surrendering to you, at which point you can shout at them with Stockholm Syndrome to initiate their revive protocol if within range of you, instantly getting you back on your feet. In essence, the same guy who just shot you and left you bleeding out on the floor can then be intimidated by your barely functioning body and coerced into patching you right back up to shoot at his mates. Whilst the madness of Payday 2's Jokers has not been added to the game yet, this little interaction is a close second in terms of that police betrayal we love to see. Any anime fans in the chat? I'm sure you've all been begging for me to talk about this one since the Golden Shot Bank was released to the world. Within the downstairs office area of this heist, we can find 3 members of the bank's senior leadership who potentially hold the access keycard to the upper floors. Thanks Musa on Twitter for pointing out Eric Yeager, the bank assistant, Liam Ackerman, the loan officer, and Reese Brown, the branch manager. Without a doubt, these guys are named in reference to 3 major characters from Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan, those being Eren Yeager, the protagonist, Levi Ackerman, a fan-favourite badass, and Reiner Braun, the undying, sort of antagonist, and armoured titan. I think this might be the first anime-related reference since the Over 9000 saw, so enjoy. Ever since Payday 3 was in beta, we've been obsessed with sneaky ways of dealing with the camera operator. Seeing as this guy has to actually be present and focused within the security room to do his job watching the cams, the community has been looking into creative ways to break his AI and keep him distracted. Initially, in the Secure Capital Bank, we found that this camera room didn't count as a secure location, meaning we can simply bait him to escort us out, at which point he never pays attention to the cams again. Then we took it a step further and found that loot bags could be dropped at his feet to put him on alert and permanently break his focus, before stealing them back to prevent him from initiating a search. Later still, we found that this can be achieved via the throwing knife, so long as you have the retriever skill, as you can distract him with the knife in the wall before grabbing it back to prevent him from getting too suspicious. This has all culminated in an even crazier camera operator break, which I'm dubbing the hack and smack. Essentially, all you need to do is hack the guy with glitch protocol and then melee him during the animation, which will freeze him in his backup calling pose until he spots you again, which won't happen as you can leave him in this closed off room to eventually be fired for falling asleep on the job. This hack and smack technique can be used on any enemy actually to freeze them in place, but do be aware if they ever see you again, they will immediately go to full alert, which is sort of understandable I suppose. Finally, one of my favourite Payday 3 secrets since we first got our hands on the game has to be the QR codes used to open locked doors throughout the many heists in the game. The Payday franchise has always had fun linking these internal world building elements to immersion breaking external sources, and this one is no different, rickrolling all who are curious enough to give those QR logs a scan. Sadly, it doesn't lead to that big overdrill style secret as we were all hoping for, but let's not give up hope. I'm inundated with theories involving bits of toast and bananas, so who knows, maybe we've just scratched the surface as far as Payday 3's secrets are concerned. That said, I'm sure this is just the first of many episodes in this refreshed 10 Things series for Payday 3. As soon as Starbreeze work out how to actually update the game, we can usher in an age of peace, tranquility, new heists, and hopefully new secrets. Until then, take care, stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you all very soon. A huge thank you to my dedicated Patreon backers. If you want to join this crew in going infamous, check out the link below and pledge as little as $2 to see your name in the credits, or get 24-hour early access to future videos and vote on upcoming content. Take care, I'll see you all soon.